Darling, darling, you're beautiful. Gotta keep your head up. Never let anything bring you down.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Midweek Yoga. We are now episode 5. I'm so grateful that you've been able to join me on the live Zoom classes, as well as coming here to my new midweek mindfulness and yoga channel on YouTube. Also, still sending out those meditations on Instagram. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. My meditations will also be posted alongside these yoga classes as I acquire recordings. So for today, we will most definitely need a blanket rolled up or a towel. Like a bath towel would be just fine. Something that's gonna cross your back, come across, and something that's maybe about 5 inches high, super soft, and we're going to lay that about a third of the way up the mat. And as we lay down and nestle in there, I'll give you directions as to where that should lie across your back. Also, 2 blocks at the end of the mat, each side would be great. And then we're also going to offer an opportunity to possibly come up against a wall in our practice towards the end of the practice, where legs will go up the wall, and we're going to shimmy our backside right up against that wall. So if you're in a position where you can turn your camera so that you can get near a wall and still see me, great. If not, we can certainly do some legs up, and we'll put our backsides or our hip bones on our rolled towel. So we want to keep that towel rolled. And we can just put our legs up in the air. And maybe at some point when you're practicing on your own, you'll find a little wall and you'll nestle in. It's really a lovely, very easy forward fold. And that's really what it is tonight, sort of like an ease of heart type of practice, where we're not going to really be torturing the body too much and just taking some ease of movements, really opening up the heart area. I hope that you enjoy it. It's sort of the theme of the practice is opening, and it goes back to one of the yamas in the 8 limbs or 8 levels of yoga. And last week we talked about the niyama, Ishvara Pranidhan, which is about self-practice and sort of a code of ethics that we work with for ourselves within the yoga lineage. And the yamas, this Ahimsa is the first one of the yamas. It's actually the first thing that you learn as you're learning these limbs of yoga. And it is nonviolence, pure and simple. Nonviolence against yourself and others, but more towards a code of conduct towards others, but certainly to ourselves as well. So without further ado, I'm going to just teach you one hand movement. It's a mudra. So we're used to doing our hands together at the heart center in prayer as Anjali Mudra. So this is very similar. This is Lotus Mudra. So we're going to start in the same position. And as we get into Lotus Mudra, as I call it out throughout the sequence, you'll come into this posture. What we're going to do at some point is we're going to open up into the Lotus Mudra. So we go from Anjali Mudra to Lotus Mudra. And how you do that is keeping the bottom of the palm together just above the wrist, keeping the pinky together as well as the thumb, and just opening up those middle 3 fingers almost like a lotus flower would open up. And the lotus is an interesting flower. It actually is grounded into the earth. Its roots are grounded in through the surface of the water in a pond, and it goes all the way down into the mud. But when it rises above the surface, it opens in this beautiful flowering vessel, and it is a symbol of love. It's a symbol of grace. So we'll be doing that this evening, opening up into the Lotus Mudra and inhaling, lifting it up with arms above the head. Same position in the hands, Holding it up there for a moment, allowing the crown to come up and join the Lotus Mudra. And then on the exhale, bringing it back down into heart center. So that's all the instruction. We're going to get on our backs now, and we're going to position ourselves to lay across this folded blanket or towel. And if you can, it's sort of maybe just above where the bra line would be, or for you gentlemen, it's across the shoulder blades, but at the lower part. So you're almost just at the bottom of the blades, really right behind the heart. And you're just going to allow your head to fall back. I'm going to move my ponytail out of the way. And really let your head go onto the ground if that's possible. If you need to lower that fold, if 5 inches or whatever is a little too high, you just want to flatten that out a bit, that's fine. Some people do it with a block under there. I think that's a little bit harsh for tonight. And then we're going to extend our legs to the bottom of the mat, heels at both corners, sort of like we're going into Shavasana, allowing the feet to just splay open. Maybe just wiggling the hips a little, making sure that there's no pressure on that lower back. And then taking the arms and allowing them to drape open to the sides, maybe a little bit further away from the body with palms up than we normally would have for Shavasana. And see if you can just get into a normal breathing pattern, allowing your shoulders to drop back to the floor. If you need to reposition anything under your armpits, if anything's sticking out on your blanket, feel free to do so. Just allowing those palms to absorb all the energy in the space, to allow your breath to fall into a natural pattern. Again, acknowledging all the energy in your space, allowing that to come in. And start to imagine that as you're inhaling, the breath is coming through the top of the head, the crown of the head. It's passing behind the brows, the third eye, passing through the sinuses, the ear canals, maybe hearing a little smooth wave as it passes into the throat, filling up the back lungs, opening up the back rib cage, maybe even allowing yourself to breathe a little bit deeper to expand. And on the exhale, imagine the air coming out through the front chest, through the front rib cage, through the heart space. Again, inhaling is coming through the top crown, past the third eye, through the sinuses and ear space, down through the throat, expanding and opening that back area and the rib cage, and exhaling through the heart. Breathing as deep as you would like, or as shallow as you would like. Coming into about 8 breaths. As we imagine the opening, the expansion, perhaps a little lift of the chest, and the release of air through the heart. Continuing with this thoughtful breathing, taking in all the energy from your space through the crown as you inhale. The crown is the 7th chakra. When we think about the opening of this chakra, known as the Sahasrara chakra, color of it is violet. Perhaps as you're inhaling through this crown, you're thinking of the color violet, or even a clear color. This area symbolizes unity, space, connection to your divine. And as that life breathing force comes through the top of your head, passing through the ears, throat, finally exiting at the chest, the heart area, and the arms open wide. The fifth chakra, the Anahata chakra. The color here is green. Perhaps imagining green emanating from your chest. Qualities of this area of the body, of course, are love, but also comfort and acceptance. Maybe just having some more thoughtful breathing now based on those colors that I've offered you, and those qualities that are within you already. When you're ready, I'm going to point the toes, bringing the feet together, pointing the toes towards the back. Allowing the hands now to come into prayer at the chest. On the inhale, opening up that lotus flower, that Lotus Mudra. And on the exhale, allowing that mudra to come up above the head. And on your next inhale, a nice, long, full-bodied stretch, pointing the toes, raising your lotus flower above your head, above the waterline. And on the exhale, bringing that Lotus Mudra back down to the chest. 2 more times on the inhale, rising up, opening up the petals, allowing grace and love in through the crown chakra. Exhaling, bringing that back down into Anjali Mudra. 1 more time, inhaling, allowing that Lotus Mudra, the Padma Mudra, to come up above the crown. Having the ability to open and blossom in adversity. Exhaling, bringing that back down to the heart center, really pulling in all that beautiful energy. When you're ready, knees come up, feet plant on the mat. And as you press your feet into the mat, slowly lifting up the hips, rolling up and over onto your right side. Left hand plants in front of your your chest or face, pressing up into the left hand, slowly rising head last into a comfortable seated position. Maybe putting that folded blanket off to the side. Perhaps your eyes are still a little closed or just slightly open. Coming into that sitting position. Just taking a nice inhale, lifting the arms up nice and wide, opening up, really reaching back those blades up to the top on the inhale. Fingers active towards the ceiling. Exhale, palms coming down towards the floor. Another inhale, arms scooping up, palms grabbing all that energy in above you. Exhale, palms down to the floor. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, bringing those arms down to the side. Allowing the right fingertips on the mat to just slightly crawl out, maybe about a foot out towards your right. A nice little bend, a little movement in the elbow as we lean into the palm of that right hand, expanding our fingers, opening them up to brace the body. And on the inhale, the left hand comes up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we bend into that right elbow as we open up that left side body. The gaze is going to be to the left elbow crease as we breathe in 3 nice clean breaths. Maybe also imagining you're breathing in through the crown. Exhaling through the heart. It might even make you turn open your chest towards the ceiling a little bit as the left shoulder draws back. And on your next exhale, pressing into that right palm, lifting the left arm up to the sky, palm down, coming down to the mat. Walking that left hand out now to the side, bending that elbow, opening up the palm, opening up the fingers. Inhale, right arm rises up, nice inhale. As we exhale, starting to bend that left elbow down, and we look up towards that right elbow crease. And as we're inhaling, exhaling, we might decide to just open up that side body a little bit more, drawing the right shoulder back and down. And after your third breath, exhaling, pressing into that left hand, right arm comes up to the ground. Extending our legs out to the side, to the front of the mat. Sort of a Dandasana pose. Toes are active. Picking up that right knee and placing the sole of the foot right next to the either inside of the left knee, or if you're feeling adventurous, the outside of the left knee. So you're almost crossing that right leg over the left. Again, the left toes stay active, pointing up. Nice flexed foot. We're going to take our hands around that right knee. A nice inhale, drawing up, drawing that crown as if that's that gossamer string, pulling your crown up towards your head, really reaching and opening up the body. And on the exhale, turning towards the right. Couple of breaths here. Maybe using a little leverage with the hands to get a little deeper in the twist. And when you're ready, we're going to take that right arm and we're going to inhale as we turn, taking leverage there with the left hand now on the right knee. The right arm draws towards the back of the body, back of the room, as we exhale into the twist. Really opening up, expanding that chest, opening up the heart, drawing the crown up to the ceiling, not losing our height. But on every inhale, drawing taller, allowing that backbone to really draw up, using that left hand as leverage and the right hand drawing back. A couple of more exhales, really wringing out the body, but allowing that chest to fully open. When you're ready, coming back to center, uncross the right leg, lifting the left knee, planting that foot either in front, or I should say to the inside of the right knee, or crossing it over for a little bit more twist. On the outside of the right knee, taking both hands to that left knee. On the inhale, really drawing up, almost pushing the chest forward, drawing the shoulders back, chin draws back, crown completely up, really feeling that beautiful alignment in the back. As we exhale, turning towards the left, feeling the twist, starting to use that left knee as leverage. And when you're ready, on the inhale, take that left hand out, exhaling behind you. Again, using that right hand to pull into the left knee, the leverage, opening up that chest, reaching back as far behind as you can. If you're only here or you're only halfway, that's fine. You're more open than you were when you started. And that's the goal here, just opening it up, just giving in, allowing all that energy to come in through the crown, drawing up towards the sky, exhaling. One more last twist, coming back to center. Uncrossing the legs now. We're going to come into butterfly pose. So that's our soles of our feet together. We don't really need to put any support here under our knees. I would say if you're feeling any tightness in your kneecaps or something is uncomfortable in your leg area, usually just moving your feet out a little bit will ease that. Again, we just want to go soft and nice today. No need to stretch or overdo anything. Pulling on the ankles a little bit, really allowing that elongation of the spine again. On the inhale, still imagining that same gossamer string pulling the crown, drawing the chin in, just getting some nice height on the inhale as the energy draws into the crown. Coming again into Anjali Mudra, opening up our lotus. And when you're ready for your next inhale, rising up through the crown of the head. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, rising up. If you want to close your eyes and really start to imagine that energy coming in through the crown, out through the heart, arriving into your lotus flower, and then giving it right back into the body on the inhale. And the exhale, bringing it right back down to the heart. And the third time, we're just going to come back to our hands in prayer, lowering our chin to our chest, setting an intention for this evening's practice. Perhaps just the simple intention of being open in our mind, open in our love and our heart. One deep breath in through the nose, one long exhale out through the mouth. Make as much sound as you would like. And if you're feeling the need for another one like I am, go for it. When you're ready, coming into table, checking your alignment, that your wrists are below your elbows, elbows below your shoulders, making sure that your hips are also right above your knees. We're going to do something a little bit new, similar to our cat-cows, but we're just going to do some swivels. So imagine that you can look over your left shoulder to your left hip, and maybe that's an inhale. And on the exhale, see if you can look over toward your right hip. And just follow some inhale, exhales. As we loosen up the tailbone, loosen up the lower back. Maybe even getting some movement in the shoulders. It's up to you how exaggerated you want to go there on your little swivels. And just keeping with the breath. Maybe you want to warm up and go a little bit faster. Maybe you just want to do it super slow. A couple of more breaths or your breaths, do what you will. When you're ready, coming into stillness, we're going to curl the toes under. And we're going to come up for that bent leg down dog. So the knees are coming up, the chest is almost resting on the knees. Heels are up, we're almost on the balls of those toes. And I really want you to allow that crown to drop to the ground, allowing all the energy that was passing through to just draw into the earth, giving back the energy, just making that connection, allowing the crown to loosen and open and relax. Being supported by the legs, the arms. If you need a little outward rotation in your elbows, take it. A couple more breaths in stillness, just allowing that crown to draw down, maybe feeling even the chest supported by the tops of the thighs, or I should say the bottom of the thighs, tops of the knees. You want to close your eyes. On the exhale, knees draw up, heels draw back and down possibly as the hip rises up into the sky. Realigning, just making sure that our hands and everything are in nice position. Drawing the belly in on the inhale. Exhale, on our tippy toes, we're going to walk our feet towards our hands, excuse me. When you're ready, just maybe grabbing each of the elbows and just hanging like a rag doll. Again, allowing that crown to draw down. Maybe on the inhale, feeling the belly scooping up. Maybe a little shake of the arms just to loosen up the blades, loosen up the neck. Maybe shake your head yes, shake your head no. And when you're ready, slowly rise up vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes up last as we arrive in Tadasana. Hands are out on our sides. A nice breath in, arms rise up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms come down into Anjali Mudra. Inhale one more time, rising up, grabbing opposite elbows. We're going to sit back as if we're in a high chair. So not as low as we might normally go, but just sitting back in almost a high chair. So knees are bent. See if we can make one big foot out of our 2 feet. Nice stability in our high chair. Grasping those elbows, opposite elbows. That's almost forming a cow. A cow pose on the inhale. On the exhale, see if you can draw the hips forward, rounding the back, head draws forward, maybe the elbows draw forward on the exhale for cat. And on the inhale, see if we can go back into that high chair position for cow. Inhaling, arching the back. Exhale, drawing that pelvis forward, tailbone down, curving the back for cat. Inhale for cow. Maybe the gaze is up at the upper corner of the room. Exhaling, curving the back. Maybe the chin drawing down towards the chest on the cat. A couple more here on your own. When you're ready, after your last cat, you can straighten out the legs, lift up the arms, cross the arms in the opposite way. So if your right hand was on top of your left shoulder, just cross it the other way. Sometimes just changing our natural habit is another way of opening our mind to change. And when you're ready, we're just going to take that right hand that's on the left elbow, and we're going to exhale and just give a little side pull, just a little stretch. Maybe your gaze goes up to that elbow crease again, like we did on the floor. Breathing in. Think about maybe opening up that left elbow towards the back of the room or towards your back. Seeing if you can open up that chest. Breathing in, maybe through the top of your head and out through that heart. And when you're ready on the exhale, coming back up, going over to the other side, looking up to that right elbow crease, opening up that right body, maybe bringing that right elbow to the back as we open up to the ceiling, to the sky. Couple of breaths. When you're ready, come up, exhale, straight. Arms come up, down to the side for Tadasana. Coming into our sun salutations now, arms rise up, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, pressing the hands, lifting the heart for halfway lift, really shining that heart, feeling that energy drawing towards the front. Exhale, forward fold, left foot steps back for a low lunge. Imagine that you can get your right knee inside of your right armpit. So that left leg is super active, knees drawing up towards the body. And I want you to imagine what's almost a sacred square. Imagine your right shoulder is pulling out towards the right. And there's a line crossing all the way to your left hip, opening up that line. Now imagine that you have a line from your left shoulder to your right hip. See if that changes your alignment in any way. And then I want you to slightly gaze ahead as you imagine your chest rising without lifting your body off of your knee. When you're ready, exhale, that right foot steps back to plank. Plank comes into down dog. We're going to lift up on the right toes, taking that left foot up. We're going to bring it up between the hands, and we're going to work that lunge on the other side. Just one nice opening up lunge. So again, right shoulder has an invisible line heading over to the left hip. Left shoulder has an invisible line heading over to the right hip. How does that make you feel? Can you adjust your body to make a nice square or rectangle? When you're ready, step that left foot back to plank, up for down dog. Starting in on our sun salutations, coming up on our toes, take that right foot up to the sky, step it between the front hands, shine the heart for a low lunge before we step up, the left foot to the front, halfway lift, shine the heart again. Crown is drawing up towards the ceiling, chest is drawing towards the front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pressing up, upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shining that heart. Exhale, hands come down. This time, the right foot will step back. A nice shine of the heart. Left foot joins, downward dog. Coming into plank, choosing your knees, chest, chin with a low cobra. Exhaling, coming to down dog. This time, coming up on our toes, lifting our left leg, stepping between the front hands, enjoying that nice low lunge with the heart shining in front. Exhale, stepping the right foot to meet the left. Again, shining the heart for halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Upward salute. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, shine that heart. Exhale, hands plant down. Right foot steps back. A nice lunge there as well before we step back to down dog. Inhale for plank. Exhale for lowering down, maybe Chaturanga Dandasana or knees, chest, chin. Coming up for your back bend, maybe an upward dog or low cobra. Exhale, down dog. Coming back up on the toes, one more time, lifting that right leg, coming up between the hands for that nice low lunge, shining the heart. Exhale, stepping forward, halfway lift, shining the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Take it down, forward fold. Lift it up halfway, shining that heart. Exhale, plant the hands. Stepping that left foot back. Nice lunge there. Right foot joins the left as we come to down dog. Coming down for plank, again, your choice, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down. Coming up for low cobra, maybe up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Coming up on the toes, lifting the left leg. One final side, nice lunge, shining the heart. Exhale, stepping up, shining the heart again for a half lift. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shine that heart. Exhale, bring that right foot back. Nice low lunge into that left armpit, shining the heart. Exhale, step back, down dog. Inhale, lower through your vinyasa, however you choose. Coming up, and then back for down dog. Taking a couple of breaths here, allowing that head to draw down, the crown drawing down, catching your 5 breaths. Feeling the outward rotation of the arms supporting you. On the inhale, feeling that balloon, that lift in the lower belly. Maybe even knitting in that lower rib cage as just an additional reminder to getting all that air out. That can also help you lift up those hips to the sky. And whether your knees are bent or straight, it's about drawing those heels towards the back. Maybe they come in contact with the floor, maybe they don't. No judgment. One more breath here in your down dog. Looking between the hands, taking that right foot up to the sky, stepping between the hands, and coming up into our warrior 2. So planting that left foot, toes pointed up towards the upper left part of the mat, coming in that right knee, maybe opening up that expanse. I'm going to take my leggings off of my heels because I can't get a good grip like that. As cute as it looks, it doesn't feel so good. Again, into that warrior 2, drawing that right knee towards the right, really getting in there. Nice breath. Hands are going to draw towards the back. Now we're either going to clasp our fingers, so we're going to intertwine our fingers like this. Or maybe, if that's too much strain on the shoulders, pressing down, we're going to take our fists and press them down, almost drawing our hands towards the center line. But nice, powerful arms, nice, strong fists. Really feeling our power, feeling our force. Allowing the chest to open, drawing the hands, we're going to exhale and slowly come towards the inner thigh, allowing almost a momentum so that the head draws down, the arms draw up, whether they're in fists or they're clasped, or the fingers are intertwined and drawing up towards the ceiling, whichever you prefer. Opening up that heart. One more breath in your bow, really bending into that right knee. Exhale, press into that foot, coming up, turning the toes towards the long edge of the mat to the left. Arms rise, 5-pointed star. When you're ready, point that left toe towards the back of the mat, pivot the right foot, warrior 2 on this side, coming into that knee, opening up, making sure you have a nice stance there before you set up for your side angle or extended side angle pose. That's the left forearm attaching to the left knee or above the knee. The right hand is going to peel up. And maybe in this particular case, we're going to turn that palm towards the back of the room. I'm going to press the top of the hand on that lower back, that sacrum. That's going to allow that right shoulder to really open up, pointing towards the sky, maybe even behind you, allowing that whole rib cage to open and expand. And maybe breathing in through the length of the top of that crown, exhaling through your heart space. When you're ready, we're going to come up, 5-pointed star. We're going to start to just reach towards the front for a nice forward fold. See if we can make contact with our hands to the floor. It's okay to bend your knees if you need to. Let's see if once again you can allow that crown of your head to draw towards the earth. Maybe opening up the back of the heart. Maybe taking each elbow into each hand. Feeling that expanse in the back rib cage. Allowing the crown to fall down to the earth. Absorbing the energy. When you're ready, hands come to hips. And as we exhale, imagining gossamer strings slowly pulling that crown up, 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 up to the top of the room. Very nice. Pointing that right toe towards the front of the mat, kicking back that left heel, coming back into our warrior two. Reaching for that block that's going to be in front of you now. Coming into a half moon pose. So we're going to be pressing into that right foot, kicking off of the back foot, grabbing that block, placing it just behind the shoulder, standing with that left leg or that left foot flat as if you're standing on the wall behind you, allowing that arm to lift up. Trying a couple of things here for heart openers. Maybe once again, taking that back of the hand and pressing it on the sacrum to open up the chest. You might even try bending your knee that's elevated. If you're on a nice strong block or a piece of furniture, try grabbing for the ankle, opening up the toes, spreading them out, pressing that into the hand. Really feeling the hips open, the chest open. And again, try that breath trick of breathing in through the top of your head and see if that elongates you at all. When you're ready, exhale, foot comes down to meet the right, forward fold. Halfway lift, shine that heart. Exhale, right foot steps back, left foot steps back. If you'd like to take a vinyasa here, knees, chest, chin, go for it. Otherwise, take a little child's pose. And when you're ready, we're going to meet in down dog. Trying it on the other side. Couple of breaths. Coming up on the toes, left foot goes up into the air. Coming between the front hands, that right foot pivots, grounds down, setting ourselves up for warrior two on this side. Hands windmill up as we come into that left knee for warrior two. Nice breath here. Deciding what we're going to do, whether it's fists or fingers, clasping of the hands. You start to exhale and dive down on that inner leg. Nice bow. Allowing the crown to draw towards the ground. Arms to rise up. Again, hands clasped. Take your fingers that are intertwined, pressing your palms up towards the ceiling. Or just going for those really strong arms and fists, drawing towards the center of the body. Couple of breaths. Really bending into that left knee. When you're ready, pressing into that left foot. Arms rise up, toes pointing towards the long side of the mat for 5-pointed star. Taking a breath here, pointing that right foot now, coming to warrior two towards the back of the mat, pivoting that left foot, coming into the right knee, bending down, warrior two, setting up for our extended side angle. As the left hand rises, perhaps coming back, planting out that sacrum, a nice look up to the sky. Coming in a little bit deeper on that right knee. Feeling the extension of the crown. Maybe even drawing that left hip forward and down so we get a little corkscrew effect in our body and our twist. When you're ready, pressing up into that foot, coming into your 5-pointed star, allowing yourself to come forward on the exhale, nice forward fold. And maybe here we put our hands to the mat, we just open ourselves up, maybe one knee, the other knee, one knee, the other knee. And finally, just allowing that crown to drop one last time, just kind of getting that energy exchange between the earth and the crown, breathing in through the crown, exhaling. Maybe trying something here, taking those same strong fists, pointing them up towards the sky, or perhaps hands are clasped, drawing the hands up, but the head is down, seeing if the hands almost come forward as we bend. Maybe the palms are up towards the ceiling. Again, bending the knees, hands plant on the ground. See if you can straighten the legs. Hands come up to the hips as we slowly rise from our wide-legged fold. Left foot draws towards the front of the mat, right foot kicks back, coming into our warrior two, reaching for that block. Pressing into the left foot, block comes down or hand comes down. Right foot extends for a half moon pose. Flex that foot. Bring the hand back to the sacrum. Open up the chest. Again, maybe taking that right knee, bending it, grabbing the right foot with a little bit of help from your friend, furniture, prop, wall. Just try. If not, just bend your knee. See how far you can go, how close you can get your heel to your buttocks. If you do have contact with your foot, press the top of the foot into the hand or press the ankle into the hand for leverage. Toes are splayed like a peacock feather. Just like we're opening our chest like a proud peacock. Exhale, release the foot. Try not to boomerang it down. It joins the left in a forward fold. Shining the heart, pressing on the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, both hands plant down. This time the left foot comes back, right foot joins the left. Feel free to come into a vinyasa or child's pose. And just stay in that child's pose for a moment. Just enjoy a couple of breaths. Coming up from child's pose into table. Hips draw up for downward dog. Looking between your hands, we're going to come to our tippy toes. Raise that right foot up. And actually, let's take our foot back a little. Let's kind of open up those hips just one more time. Taking that right foot, allowing it to come over the body, over to the left side. See if you can stabilize your balance. Back up. Toes pointed up to the sky on the right foot. Step the right foot forward. And remember that nice lunge we had before where our knee was in our armpit. Same stance. Same sacred square. When you find your stability and you find your center in that square, exhale, press into that right foot. Arms will raise in front of you. So instead of coming into our traditional warrior one where the arms are up, we're going to almost come at a 45-degree angle. This is going to really encourage you to get some core strength in here. So drawing up that belly on your inhales, allowing it to not collapse too much on the exhales. See if you can come into your Lotus Flower Mudra. And on the inhale, lifting your arms up above the crown. Exhale, coming in. 2 more times on your own, inhaling up. It's requiring a lot of strength in that right thigh. Nice strong core. If you need to drop that left knee, go ahead. Get it to the ground. When you're ready, exhale, both hands come to the ground. Right foot steps back to plank. Plank into one quick child's pose. Couple of breaths. Coming back up to table, curling the toes under, down dog. Same thing here, we're gonna come up on our toes, lifting that left foot up to the sky, maybe opening up the hips, allowing that left foot to drop over behind to the right. When you're ready, come back, toe points high up, steps in between the hands. Get set up in your lunge. Mark your square. Find your balance, find your center. When you're ready, slowly rise up, hands in front, up at that 45-degree angle. Neck should be neutral, looking down. Crown is drawing towards the upper corner of the room. As we bring our hands to the Lotus Mudra, inhale, lift to the crown. Exhale, pull it down. Inhale, lifting up, opening the crown. Exhale, coming back. One more. Keeping it strong. Hands come to the ground. Left foot steps back. Downward dog. Inhale, right foot comes up to the ceiling. Pointing out. Exhale, right foot steps between the 2 front hands. And this is gonna get a little tricky. We're gonna do what's called Warrior 3, which I don't think I've ever done with you guys before. So we're gonna see if we can spring up, kicking off with that left toe on the right foot, the right leg. Maybe there's a nice bend in the knee on the right side. Maybe your hands stay here on the ground. Maybe you finally get that foot to stay up hovering. Toe is flexed like we do in half moon, but it's pointing down towards the floor. Again, okay to keep a bend in that right knee. Wherever you can find your stability, and maybe slowly lift your fingertips off the ground and jut out those fingertips towards the back. Maybe like you're flying. Maybe if you want to do a heart opener, you open them up like an airplane. Again, piece of furniture, very handy. Right now, my right hand is on my piece of furniture, totally unsolicited, but I love it because I'm really able to reach that left foot, really able to open up my chest just by having that prop there. Beautiful. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Right foot steps back. Left foot joins the right. Come into a quick child's pose. Coming up to table. Let's try it on the other side. Downward dog. Left toe pointing up towards the ceiling. Right foot stepping between the hands. I'm sorry, that's left foot stepping between the hands. See if we can start to press up. Right toes just kind of pressing up. And if this is all you can do, this is all you can do. No big deal. See if you can find your balance. And maybe if you're ready, engage that right foot, flex it, point the toes, little bend of the knee, bringing the hands, sweeping them back, maybe just one, because you got that great prop. Bending into that left knee if you need to, really lifting up that right heel towards the ceiling. Crown is drawing in front of you, almost 2 pulls. You're pulling through the crown, you're pulling through the heel. Then the left heel is pressing. The arms are opening. When you're ready, right foot joins the left, hands come down. Step the right foot back, left foot back. This time, coming into child's pose, we're gonna do embryo pose. So it's pretty much the same. We're just trying to get a little bit closer to our knees to see if the top of our head can make contact with the floor. So really like an embryo, really tucked in. The arms are actually going to come to the sides, which are going to open up that back area, that heart area. If it's helpful for you to make the contact with the floor, you can always go grab that folded blanket, put it just above your knees. You can get the top of your head to make contact. I also sometimes have to adjust my bun to make sure that I really get a nice connection of my crown to the earth. When you're ready, coming into embryo, chin will really tuck under to the chest, allowing that whole opening of the back throat, allowing the connectivity and the energy from the crown to the floor, opening up the heart through the back by allowing the shoulders to drop towards the floor with those arms to the sides, maybe even grabbing your heels. Taking some nice cleansing breaths, slowing down the body. When you're ready, inhale, slowly rise up onto your knees. If you want to grab that block, stick it between your ankles. Vajrasana pose. Thunderbolt pose. Just sitting back, coming back into the breath. Arms come up for the inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to take that left hand just to the left thigh, placing our right hand on our lower back, pressing into the lower back, exhaling, just doing one little twist. Inhaling, coming to the other side, the light little twist. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, just going to release that block. Taking that blanket, this time instead of situating it 3/4 of the way down from the top of your mat, you might want to do a vertical. So you're coming down the length of your mat, right in the center. We're going to sit right in front. Straighten out our legs and slowly start to roll over, allowing the blanket or the towel to almost line up with the backbone. Then taking our hands, we're going to slide them. We're going to lift up our right hip, slide the right hand palm down, right behind the right side, and then the left hand coming under the left cheek. If you need to just kind of situate yourself again, making sure that there's no discomfort, you have a lower back support. Feet are extended again, toes pointing together, toes are together, touching. See if you can almost ground your elbows really tightly in there, almost as close towards the backbone as possible, really pressing in, grinding in the elbows, palms. And if you can, see if you can just tilt your pelvis back and press into the elbows, lifting that chest. If the chest is lifted, see if you can start to keep the chest lifted, but reach the head back. And maybe the top of your head, the crown, makes contact with the floor, or maybe it makes contact with that blanket. Really opening up, breathing through the throat, trying to loosen any constriction. For me personally, I usually do the fish pose without the bolster or the blanket. It looks exactly the same way, except when I come down, I automatically set myself up on my hands, elbows in, chest up, really just putting all the weight there into the arms. And then I slowly allow my head to draw back until I can make contact with the top of my head, which I had mentioned. That's why I like to readjust my pony. You really don't want to collapse too much into your shoulders. And if you can stay there, toes pointed, feeling the energy drawing up almost from the fish of the tail, which would be your toes, coming up to the lower body of the fish, your knees, your thighs, to the main part of the fish, allowing the neck to open, the jaw to relax, eyes to draw back. Maybe they're closed. Feeling the weight of the top of the head pulling down towards the floor. Again, if this is uncomfortable for you, no big deal. You can just lay right on your back. The idea is to just open up the chest one more time. You can even go into that original pose that we had with the bolster or the blanket wrapped or rolled underneath your blades. This is a back bend. Very subtle, very easy. Really cleansing out the body. When you're ready, head slowly comes up. Start to move the hands outside. Begin to lower down. Maybe the knees come up and we do a little windshield wiper. Just massaging that lower back. Massaging the lower, or I should say the soles of the feet. Nice little sway. And if you are ready to come into your forward fold up the wall, I'm going to ask you to join me in doing so. I'll give you that demo, and then I'll give you the demo if you don't have a wall right now. The idea is to sit as close to the wall as you can. So maybe starting with your right or left hip, depending on how you're able to look at me, and almost draw that hip really close to the wall, leaning on the wall. Hands are behind you. Start to come back onto your elbows like we did in fish, and see if you can slowly start to walk your feet up to that wall, top of the wall or towards the top. And now come on your back, slide into place. But it's almost as if you're sitting on your wall. Again, the tailbone, the butt cheeks would be right up against the wall. Lower back is supported. You can relax the feet. Just allow the head to draw back, arms draw back. Coming back into that thought of bringing in the air through the crown, exhaling through the heart. And if you're there, great, stay there. If the wall was not accessible, but you got the lesson and you're going to try it next time without me, take that rolled blanket. You're going to kind of just sit on it, so the tailbone will be right on there, right at your lower. It's not even your lower back, it's really your tailbone. You're taking that blanket and it's almost coming right across your sit bones. You're going to slowly raise your legs once you find that little bit of balance. And in this particular case, you can actually allow the legs to drop towards the face. No stress here. Maybe arms come out to the side. If you feel it's more comfortable to just keep them hovering at a 90 degree, that's cool. Just allowing that parasympathetic nervous system to come into play. Experiencing that subtle forward fold after our back bend. Couple of breaths more, breathing through the crown, exhaling through the heart space. When you're ready, legs come down off the wall or off of your old blanket, putting any props off to the side. Coming back to lay down on our mat, bringing the knees to the chest, opening up the knees almost like a butterfly pose, but on our back as opposed to sitting. Reaching down, and instead of grabbing our ankles like we do in butterfly in a sitting position, we're going to reach for the outer edges of the feet, right hand to right foot, left hand to left foot. We're going to go into a happy baby. You can pick your feet up. We can rock from side to side, maybe massaging out the lower back. Maybe you decide to go for some leg extensions where you're straightening that right knee, holding the right hand to the right edge of the foot, switching sides. Maybe deciding to open up both legs as wide or as narrow as you'd like. Just having some fun. Not everything has to be so serious. It's okay to laugh when we're facing adversity. It's okay to have a little giggle of sometimes embarrassment, or I don't know, just finding humor sometimes, even if it's in ourselves. And again, allowing that happy baby to truly be happy. Having some fun, playing around. When you're ready, coming into stillness. Legs coming out to the bottom of the mat. Same way we started. If you need to pull that blanket and get it behind your thighs. Just some lower back support. That's cool. Taking a nice deep cleansing breath in through the mouth or nose. And just allowing a nice exhale as the arms open up, palms towards the sky. Exhale. Maybe one more deep cleansing breath before we settle into our Shavasana. Coming into your natural breath, and you just playing a few more times with the intake of air through the crown of your head. Allowing the exhale to come through the heart. When you're ready, start to wiggle the fingers and toes, allowing yourself to come back to your space, to your mat. Feeling that connectivity to the earth below, as well as the energy around you. Taking one deep breath in, maybe a full body stretch, pointing the toes, perhaps choosing to do Lotus Mudra on your inhale, up and above your head. Exhale, bringing it down into your chest. Slowly rolling over to whichever side you choose. Pressing the hands into the floor as you rise into seated position, head coming up last, maybe keeping those eyes closed or dimly open. Sitting in your easy pose, whatever's comfortable for you. Hands coming into prayer. Opening up for our final lotus. Inhaling, allowing the lotus to rise above, opening it up to the crown, allowing the crown to open up. Exhale, bringing that into the heart, bringing the grace, bringing the love. Hands coming back into prayer as we bring our chin to chest. Taking a deep breath in together. And a long exhale out of the heart chakra. Open our minds. Open our perspective. Open our hearts. Open our mouths. Open our arms. Open our world to open possibilities. Bringing the thumb knuckles to the third eye, bowing our head in gratitude towards each other, towards ourselves for coming to the practice, supporting each other, supporting the world around us with love, compassion, most of all with open mind, open arms, and sometimes open mouths. Go in peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Allow your eyes to open. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you. Take care of yourselves.
Darling, darling, you're beautiful. Gotta keep your head up. Never let anything bring you down. Sunshine will always come around. Stay strong, move on. You have such a beautiful soul. Let your energy radiate.